Deep in the bowels of the Aldhani base, amidst the cold steel of the loading bay that houses the much-heralded Rono freighter, Lieutenant Gorn executes one of the most sophisticated maneuvers of the entire heist. No weapon is drawn or terminal sliced. Instead, he clears the path to the vault using nothing but a clipboard and a manufactured grievance. This scene serves as a brilliant demonstration of how a double agent can turn the Empire's rigid discipline against itself. The objective is simple: the vault area must be understaffed during the eye ceremony to allow the rebels entry. A lesser conspirator might have simply ordered a skeleton crew, but such a deviation from protocol would leave a paper trail and invite suspicion. Gorn's approach is far more psychological. He begins by identifying a trivial failure, the unpainted gantry, and blowing it out of proportion, invoking the arrival of a Coruscant engineer to justify his strictness. By threatening to force the men to paint the structure during the celestial event, he creates a conflict between their duty and their deepest desire. I'm just going to point this out: I have a suspicion some viewers may think this fellow here is Kimzi, and the script I'm using for reference actually credits his lines to Kimzi. But this isn't Kimzi. Kimzi is portrayed by Nick Blood, who was Lance Hunter from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he works in the comms room. This is just a different mustachioed chap. The reaction of the soldiers reveals the humanity buried under their uniforms. When one pleads that morale might be crushed if they miss the eye, Gorn leverages this desperation masterfully. He allows himself to be talked down from the hard-ass persona he's been displaying, granting them permission to attend the event and paint the gantry later. To the soldiers, he's a hard-nosed officer showing a rare moment of grace because their plea was so wonderfully worded and earnest. To the audience, he's a saboteur who just tricked the guards into abandoning their post. As he turns to leave, with the soldiers all but high-fiving to celebrate their win, a fleeting, almost imperceptible smile breaks Gorn's rigid mask, betraying the satisfaction of a trap successfully sprung. He leveraged the soldiers' hunger for the spectacle to create the necessary void in the security grid, ensuring the vault will stand empty at the critical hour. Gorn exits the bay, having engineered a catastrophic breach of Imperial protocol disguised entirely as an act of commanding grace. Gotta say, I really like Gorn. Here's a very soulful performance from the actor Sule Rimi. Gorn has to suffer the insufferable every day, and he's done it for years. Unlike the others on the mission, he doesn't even have a semblance of camaraderie or community. His life, his rebellion, is one of extreme loneliness. But he's still not cynical. He still cares about stuff. Rebels can lose sight of that. I see him as a very gentle, thoughtful person when he's off duty, closer in character to Nemik than he is to a Skeen or Taramyn or even a Cassian. Across these three scenes, we start to see evidence that gives credence to a line from Nemik about fragility. The Empire is superior in every resource except manpower. If you can leave an approach to a critical payload unguarded because a sofa needs moving, you're asking for trouble, a theme the show will return to, especially during the Narkina 5 arc. As Gorn literally walks us through the key locations of the heist, the Empire keeps giving itself away through its own vocabulary. Everything is framed as housekeeping. Cleanup, schedules, furloughs, paintwork, morale. Even desecration gets treated like a bit of mess around the edges. And as the arc progresses, clean quietly mutates from maintenance to ideology until Kimzi can talk about the Dani as a smell. Gorn survives inside that atmosphere by mastering a colder craft than stealth, moral concealment. He can't say what he actually feels about the shrine, or the racism, or the brutality he's watching solidify into routine. So he converts revulsion into acceptable managerial energy. He threatens Win to leave instead of admitting offense. He bullies men about an unpainted gantry to empty the vault. He doesn't break Imperial procedure, he uses it, because that system rewards the wrong things, and Gorn knows exactly where to press. The final shot is the mic drop. We've been walked all the way up the Temple Valley to the dam, and inside we end at the vault. Gorn walks out and the camera transitions to a shot looking out from the golden tunnel we see behind him. These stacked credit tubes look like a sci-fi wine cellar built for accountants. Wealth, organized, indexed and made beautiful. It's the first time the heist stops being an idea and starts becoming an object that's waiting to be taken. The scene ends on the payload because that's the point. Everything you've just watched, every threat, every inspection, every forced "sir, yes sir," exists to protect this. And tomorrow night, it won't.